It is Pie Day. P-I. I guess you could call it P-I-E if you wanted to, if you're going to eat some pie. Do you know what Pie Day is or why it's Pie Day today?
You know, I saw it on the news this morning.
There's Miss Linda.
I think you can, what did they say? Choose your favorite pie. They had two different things that I remember seeing it on Today's Show this morning.
Well, what's your favorite pie, Miss Juanita?
Sweet potato.
Woo, I love sweet potato pie. How about you, Mr. James?
Yeah, I go with sweet potato too. Yeah, that's pretty good pie.
We had sweet potatoes for supper last night, so I have sweet potatoes fresh on the mind. How about you, Miss Linda? What's your favorite pie?
Well, I like the pecan pie.
Ooh, pecan pie, that's good too. And
it is so sweet.
Yeah, you can't take but a couple bites, and if you're diabetic, you got to have some insulin ready.
You don't need that, period.
Y'all know I'm from Kentucky. So one of my favorite pies is called Kentucky Derby pie, which is a lot like pecan pie, but it has chocolate in it. And that may be called something else in Georgia.
Probably is.
But that stuff is so good. It's almost like a big gooey chocolate chip cookie. So good. But it's Pie Day because it is March the 14th or 3.14, which that has something to do with the circumference or radius of a circle. I don't know. You're not going to get the question on Jeopardy right listening to me. You'll have to ask Google. But it has something to do with a circle. And the fact that it's pi is always 3.14. So the circumference or the area of a circle, the circumference of a circle is like pi 3.14 r, which is the radius of the circle, squared. So you would totally get it wrong if you had to rely on me, but there that is. How about I just teach y'all Tai Chi, because I know a little bit more about that.
Okay.
Happy Pie Day. Let's Tai Chi. In speaking of a circle, we're just going to walk around, open and close our hands and pump our arms. But speaking of a circle, you know, circle, when you think about it, it's perfect. It's never ending. There's just something good and wholesome about a circle. You know, you think about a square and there's these sharp edges and there's little corners, but a circle, it just seems so pure. And there are a lot of circles in Tai Chi, and we don't really think about it or talk about it that much. And, you know, when we do commencement, where we come up and down, you know, that's very circular in nature. When we think about movement controls in terms of slow, smooth, continuous circle, you know, just that's the nature of our Tai Chi. It's very circular. So that's my tie-in to Pie Day for the circles. I'll think of other places and bring them up when we do our movements. I think about more of our advanced, which we're going to start next week diving into our advanced more with brush knee. But there's a movement called play the lute in our advanced movements. And it looks like this from the front, where you your hands pass right here, right? So I'm here and I play the lute. So my hands pass and I come to that elbow. And some people will play the lute like this. There. You see that little bit of a whip kind of shoulder move? That circle in that place. So
this is very pretty. Do we have an appointment today or tomorrow?
Circle there too.
46.
Let's see. I'll put Miss Linda on mute while she's on the phone. All right. So, terms of principle, we're thinking about upright posture. I got my legs shoulder width or hip width apart. My weight's on both legs. I have really good posture, like a string that pulls up and down. My shoulders are relaxed. I'm breathing. I'm not holding any tension in my body. It's something that Tai Chi really teaches us is constantly being aware of our experience with our body. So we don't want to ever be holding up our shoulders tense. Sometimes you may catch yourself clenching your jaw, and clenching your jaw, that's tension that can cause you to have pain, not only in your jaw, but also of your in your head. So we want to free it. Excuse me. We want to free ourselves of as much tension as possible so that we don't have pain. And we do that by being aware of it. We do it by holding our body in a way that's supportive of our body. Holding our weight over our hips is a great place to start. Let's start with our neck. Bring those hands up towards our chin and chest. Push away and follow those hands all the way down. Let's do the next one quietly. Our other one starts out the same way. Let's drop one hand to our hip. Now let's follow this hand as we look towards that shoulder. Feel a nice little stretch. Come back to center, switch hands. So you don't have to go as far as you can go, just till you feel a slight stretch. Let's do the other ones quietly. All right, let's roll our shoulders. Small circles to the front or towards the front. And then small circles to the back. Like a little massage you give yourself. Continue to breathe as we go through these movements. Be aware if you're holding your breath. It tends to happen when we get a little busy. Bring those hands up and then push down in front of us. Grab our ball for our spine. Separate the heavens and the earth. Push one hand pushing towards the floor. The other hand comes up and pushes toward the ceiling. Stretching that spine vertically. Coming back to the ball and switching. Back to our ball, let's take it for a ride from side to side, stopping just above our knee, switching hands, coming back across. Just a short little ride of that ball, slightly warming up our spine, not trying to do too much. Going too far can actually hurt your back, so just try to keep it small. Continuing to breathe, come back to center. Now we're going to get to our lower body exercises, starting with our hips. So this is where we complicate it by holding our weight on one leg, which increases the difficulty, very much challenges our balance. So have a chair nearby, whether you need to hold it and skip the hand movements, whether you need to sit down, whether you need to make sure you have a wall nearby to rely on if you need to, or a table, just something that is stable near you that can help catch you if you lose your balance a little bit. Just always listen to your body. Safety is most important. So you don't have to just keep on. You don't have to do as much as me, as much as anyone else in the class. It's all about you and improving you. So here we go. We're going to shift our weight to one leg. We're going to place our heel out and our hands back. Pause in the middle and then toe back like a kickstand, hands forward. I always call this a leg swing. It's kind of like a dance movement when you would do a leg swing. But it's to warm up that hip. Come back to center. Shift the weight. Heel forward, hands back. Pause in the middle. Toe back, hands forward. So this is one where you could easily hold onto your chair, skip the hand movement. Most important thing is you're warming up that hip joint. Now, I know that stable leg is getting a little tired. It's working hard to keep that balance, but we like that because that's how we strengthen our stabilizer muscle. I also want to mention something right now about my shoes. You see this, the sole on this shoe is pretty wide.
Thick.
Do you call that thick? Let's call it thick. I just noticed whenever I was doing that my foot felt very unstable inside this shoe. You know, it's a slip-on shoe. It's probably a little, about called it baggy, but not real fitted back here on the back of my foot. So as I held on to my weight with my left foot, that foot didn't feel very stable. So be mindful of the shoes that you wear when you're doing Tai Chi. This wasn't my best choice. Normally, I wear shoes that are like ballet flats, and the sole on them are about like this, real flat, and I'm very connected to the floor. But today I was trying to be cute, and cute don't cut it in Tai Chi class. So I have on.
We're trying to be cute every day then.
I am going to take those shoes off, and you know, this is just real time adjustments, and this is the way we want to do everyday life. So now I just do a quick scan of my floor, make sure that there's nothing on the floor. I'm thinking mainly like push pins or staples or things that would be in an office, right? Because I'm at my office. So I'm making sure now that I'm just in a sock on this floor that my feet are protected, where a shoe normally would be protected for me. So we don't recommend doing Tai Chi in bare feet because of protecting the foot. You know, if you're a diabetic, oftentimes you'll have neuropathy and your feet lose sensation, and you could have a pin stuck in your foot and not even know it because of you've lost the feeling of in your feet. So you have, if you're diabetic especially, you have to be careful about your footwear and being barefoot so that you don't hurt your feet. So with that in mind, I'm safe and I'm more stable in my socks than I was in those, what did we call it? Wide? No, thick shoe, thick bottom shoe. So there's my adjustment. So now we are going to do our other hip exercise where we shift the weight to one leg and tap out. Bring it back, shift, and tap. So as far as y'all can tell, it looks like I have on ballet flats, but really they're socks. But I brought ballet flats. They're in my car. And I thought, oh, these will be fine. They're flat. But I wasn't thinking. They didn't bother me this morning. Tap. Shift. Tap. So always be listening to your body. And, you know, I was feeling that little bit of unstableness, and I don't like that feeling. For our knees, we have our loose fist. We're going to shift our weight, lift, tap and punch. Bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch. I really think the muscles of my feet have gotten so strong from doing Tai Chi class because, you know, it's not just my leg muscles. It's my feet muscles that work too to keep me stable. And we might not even realize how important those ligaments, tendons, and muscles are that are in our feet. All right, now we're going to step out. Step forward, heel toe, shift, bring it back, side by side, shift, step, heel toe, shift and punch, bring it back, side by side, shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, side by side. Keep breathing, keep that back foot flat on the floor. You don't have to transfer all the weight to that front foot. We're making sure that knee doesn't extend past our toe. And last one. Now for our ankles. Shift the weight, heel toe, heel toe. Other foot, heel toe. Little toe, big toe. Bring it back. And other foot, big toe, little toe. Side to side, working on the mobility, flexibility of our ankle. All right, give yourself a good shake. So those are our warm-up movements. And we are ready for basic 6. So we're getting a really good grasp on our movements of basic 6. Miss Linda, I'm taking you off mute in case I put you on mute just in case, or because you were on the phone. But if you have a question, you can take it off mute and so you can ask. But I pushed ask to unmute, so I don't know what that says on your end.
I have a question.
Okay,
What's that button on your shirt?
that's my son.
Oh, is it? I thought it might be. That's why I asked. How about that?
Ain't he handsome?
Yeah, he is.
All right, well, I'll tell you the rest of it. You see my shirt, it says Legends Never Die.
Mhm.
Well, all these boys in this picture are the seniors on the baseball team this year at Appling County. And so I took this picture with my camera and then I took it to the people who make shirts, Southern Graphics, and they turned it in to look like this, kind of like a cartoon, and printed it on shirts. So my son is right here. He has on sunglasses.
Yeah.
But these are his fellow classmates.
Well, I like that. That's pretty neat.
That's cool, isn't it? And so, hold on, I'll show you something else. So you see my button that's my son, Patrick is his name. I don't know why it won't focus on it, but you get the idea. That's Patrick. I did this shirt too. So that's all the seniors. I made it look kind of like a baseball card.
Yep.
See how there's Patrick in the middle.
Yep.
That same picture.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah.
That's all the seniors, and then the front says Seniors 2023. I'm a proud baseball mom.
It's a good way to remember.
It is. And this shirt's just really cool. I really like this one. The coolest part of it is this right here is Levi, and his number is 23. But this is the class of 23, class of 2023. Yeah. And it just so happens that his number was front and center. Yeah, that's really cool. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So usually on Tuesdays, lately and probably until May, I'm going to be wearing baseball clothes on Tuesday because we always have a game Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we have 3 games a week. And tonight we play Pierce County.
Sometimes you're freezing up.
Well, you know what? Earlier somebody was telling me that. Hold on a second. I'm going to make sure that my internet is plugged in and not relying on Wi-Fi. Let me double check.
Baby girl. Hey, baby girl. Hey, baby girl.
All right. Was I freezing up on everybody?
You were
Yes.
on me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's this cord right here. Well, you don't have to see it. You can kind of see it right here. I have it plugged into my laptop, and it's supposed to be plugged in that back corner into the Wi-Fi or into the internet, like a direct cord. I didn't know that it had been unplugged. So my laptop has been working off of Wi-Fi, which is not always a good quality or good connection today. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. This morning, somebody asked me, and I asked if everyone had a problem, and they said no. So I thought it was just her Wi-Fi. Good old technology, right, y'all?
Right.
Well, I'll remember usually I'm the only person that works in this room. So usually my thing stays plugged in and nobody ever messes with it. But they must have done something at a time I didn't realize. All right. Sorry for the delay, but at least you have a little information about me and how things work around here. Oh,
Okay.
Man, Pi Day and all, we just got all kinds of information today. All right, so basic 6, Tai Chi. Next week, we're going to dive into advanced 6. So starting with commencement, we bring our hands up, down, shift right. I'm doing mirror image for y'all. Step left, bring those hands up. Shift left as those hands go out. Bring that right foot forward. Hands come back. Open and close. So remember, commencement is a step forward that is led by your left foot. So I shift right, step left, shift left, bring the right foot forward. That's the footwork of commencement. Hand work, hands up, facing each other and down towards our hips, up our bodies, away from us, and then back in, and leads us to open and close. Our second movement, which is essentially a breath. And if you take a deep breath in, filling your lungs with air, your hands will naturally open. And then when you exhale, your hands will naturally close. So that open and close is a breath. Can you use gentle resistance and really pretend you're playing that accordion where you're pulling it out and you're pushing it in? Yes, gentle resistance is one of our principles. It's not one that we talk about a whole lot. We're more worried about upright posture, weight transfer, slow, smooth, continuous. Those are the three we really focus more on, but gentle resistance is that little added extra feeling in that movement. It makes it a little more. It makes you use muscles that you don't normally use if you're just taking a breath. That or you can think about pulling taffy, coming back and pulling taffy. And that's what gentle resistance feels like you're pushing through water and pulling through water. You know, that's gentle resistance. You can go through the whole movements of Tai Chi with gentle resistance, as if you're coming up in water and down, in, up. Because, you know, it takes a little bit more to push through water. That's information. You don't have to do it. You can simply go through those motions. Because in the beginning, we're just trying to learn the movements. We're just trying to remember to hold that good posture. Keep our weight over our hips as we shift the weight. Slow our pace as we move. Because we're so used to being in a hurry. So this is our chance to slow down. So let's commence. Up, down, shift the weight. Step, bring those hands in and up. Shift as the hand goes out. Bring the foot forward. Hands come back, open and close. Turned around, it looks like this. And commence. Up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as the hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Let's do it again without talking. And commence. So that gets us ready to go into our single whip and waving hands in clouds series. And remember, we are balanced in the way we do that, because first we go to the right, single whip, waving hands in clouds, and then we do it single whip and waving hands in clouds to the left with that open and close in the middle, and then there at the end. So let's talk about single whip. When we're coming from open and close, our hands are facing each other. We're going to shift our weight to our left foot, step out right, adjust the weight. So now we have weight on both legs. Push, turn, and separate. Our eyes following that left hand. So from the front, it looks like this. We shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Sometimes I forget to say it, but remember that when you shift left and step right, when you step out with that right foot, adjust that weight to where you have weight on both feet. Don't keep your weight on that back foot. Adjust the weight to have weight on both feet. You may have a little bit more weight on this back foot. They call it 60-40. And that's almost 50-50, right? So we have 60% of our weight on the back foot, 40% of weight on our front foot. So when I say adjust the weight, that's what I mean. Go from having all of your weight on your left foot to giving your right foot about half of your weight. Okay, so then you're standing in a stable stance. It's almost like a staggered stable stance. So your hands are here. You push those hands out, turn them away from you, and then you open both hands, opening your chest, stretching those muscles, and your eyes are following the left hand. If you think to yourself, oh gosh, I don't remember which one I'm supposed to look at, the rule is the hand opposite of the foot you stepped out with. So I stepped out with my right foot, so I follow my left hand. So when we do single whip, the next time we shift left. No, that's our right. That's my right leg. That's my pretend right leg for mirror image. We shift right, we step left, and then what hand do we follow?
The right.
The right hand. So opposite hand of the foot we stepped out with. If you ever go and learn part 2 of Tai Chi, so this is past our advanced 6. If you ever learn part 2, which I don't know how you learn it virtually, but heck, I'd be willing to give it a try. But there's what's called a step back single whip. And the rule still applies. You shift, you step back, push, turn, separate, and your eyes follow opposite foot, opposite hand of what foot stepped back. In in basic 6, it's the foot that steps out. You follow that opposite hand. So that's just one of those rules that may be easy for you to remember. So we have our first single whip, shift left, step right, adjust the weight, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Now we're going for our waving hands in clouds. Shift left, bring those hands down, right foot back. Let's walk sideways. So step out right, turn, switch our hands, turn. Shift right, step left, switch hands, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Now come to the middle for open and close. So on that waving hands in clouds, when you step right, you turn right. Shift. When you step left, you turn left. So there's a pattern. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Okay. That's the step and the turn. Yeah, the step and the turn. But there's two things that are happening, and that's switching our hands and shifting our weight. That happens because we know we cannot take a step until we until we take the weight off of that foot, right? That just makes good sense. So we have step. I'm giving all my weight to that left leg so that this right leg can give my weight to my right leg so that my left foot can step. Shift, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step. So that's the footwork of waving hands in clouds. And then the hands go with the foot. So when I step right, I turn right, shift, step, switch, turn, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. That's our 4 words. You know, I've talked to y'all about my handy dandy Post-it note that has my 4 words: switch, step, turn, shift. You can do one at the time. Switch, then step, then turn, then shift, then switch, then step. You know, you can do it one word at the time. But because our principle is slow, smooth, and continuous, we try to pair 2 words together. So we switch and step, shift and turn. Switch and step, shift and turn. So we bundle up our words so that we can learn to become more smooth and continuous. So it looks more like this. Step and switch, shift and turn. 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 Practice that enough, and then before you know it, it looks more like this. Slow, smooth, and continuous. That's our goal. Slow, smooth, continuous. All right. Then we'll do single whip and waving hands in clouds to our left. So let's do all those pieces put together. We're coming from open and close. We're single whipping to the right. Shift, step and adjust, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift, bring that foot back, hands down. Step and shift or switch. Shift and turn. Open and close. Single whip. Shift. Step and adjust. Push. Turn. Separate. Following that right hand. Waving hands in clouds. Step and switch. Shift and turn. Step and switch. Shift and turn. Open and close. All right, let's do it from the front. I'll be doing it in mirror image. From the top of commence. And commence, hand come up. Down, shift right. Step left, bringing those hands out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open, close. Single whip, shift, step and adjust, push, turn, separate, shift, waving hands, step and switch, shift and turn. Open and close. Shift, step, push, turn, separate. Waving hands, step and switch, shift and turn. Open and close. Close it out. All right, I'm going to turn around. Let's do it again. Commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. All right, what questions do you have about these?
You know one thing, I'm tired. Ooh, ooh.
So this is kind of interesting. They call Tai Chi a cardiovascular exercise. And I didn't really believe it whenever they told me that. Even though they're the expert and I'm not. I didn't believe them. Because I always thought a cardiovascular exercise was something that just really made your heart beat and made your like clothes sweaty, your face like covered in sweat. But the more I understood Tai Chi, because I thought you can't have a cardiovascular exercise going that slow. Ain't no way, bro. But the more I understood Tai Chi, you know, we do a lot of up and down. When we shift, you see that down and step and shift. You see there's a kind of a up and a down, an up and a down, step, up or down and a up, down and a up, because we're bending our knees as we move and shift, weight. Shift, we go down, step, here. There's a lot of up and down motion. That up and down motion looks and feels like a pump, right? Pump, pump, pump. Guess what else pumps? Pumps.
That heart.
Your heart. So with the movement, transferring weight, bending into that knee as you shift the weight, coming back up as you go to the other foot. It's pumping blood through your body. It's making that heart work. Do we sweat? Some people might. But you get a little bit warmer, don't you?
Yes, I had to take off
Tired, don't you?
my jacket.
Yeah, cardiovascular exercise. I'm sold now. I'm just telling you, when I first did it though, I was like, no cardiovascular exercise. It ain't going to improve my stamina. But it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing. Can I go run for a whole minute? On a good day, I think I can. I don't try to do it, but I'm just saying, I'm not going and running 10 miles. I'll tell you that. Can I? Maybe, I don't know, because I'm not fixing to try it. But shifting that weight, shifting that weight, that is a lot of work for those muscles. So it's no surprise if you get tired. It's no surprise if you get sore, because you're using your muscles in a different way than any other type of movement and exercise. Doing something slower is harder than doing it fast in a way, because we have to be stable as we move slower. We don't have to use that stability as much if we're just walking. We just hope for the best when we throw that foot out there. We don't have to pause and really live with the choice of shifting that weight. So, yes, it will make you tired. Tai Chi benefits: decreasing anxiety, depression, and stress. Man, I feel that every time I slow down and just breathe. This one movement where we go, it calms my soul every time. That any stress I'm feeling, it's just like it melts away as I go through that. And you see that circular motion. Not a perfect circle, but it's circular in nature. We're strengthening muscles, because we're saying, muscle, you better hold me because I don't want to fall down. So that muscle's going, okay, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, I'll hold you, I'll hold you. And meanwhile, it's just getting stronger the more it works. Use it or lose it. And that's what happens as people get older. They tend to be less active. And when people are less active, their muscles atrophy or shrink or get small, get weaker. So by using our muscles, we're going to strengthen them. When our muscles are strong, we're going to have better balance. We're going to have better coordination, because we have a better understanding or awareness of our bodies. Because I feel myself holding tension and go, let's let it go. Because I feel myself leaning a little bit and I go, nope, we're going to stand up straight. Every time I make a decision based on body awareness, that helps my balance, that helps my coordination, it improves my mobility. Every time I move, you think about those neck exercises where we look over our shoulder or towards our shoulder, where we take our chin to our chest, where we're rolling those shoulders, where we're separating those hands. Every time we're stretching those muscles. Even at the beginning of class, we're increasing our flexibility. When we increase our flexibility, then we improve our mobility. We can move better. think about when you get up in the morning. Ooh, are y'all's bodies so stiff? My body go creak. Oh. Or if I've been sitting down a long time and I stand back up, my body goes creak. But once you get up and moving, you get those muscles warmed up, you get some, juices going, it helps reduce that stiffness in your body. So movement is everything. And we get so much of it through Tai Chi. We have better posture because of Tai Chi. Why? Because we think about that good posture where that string pulls up and down. We have those shoulders nice and relaxed.
You know what bothers me the most?
What?
Is trying to do two things at one time. If I could do the foot work by itself and the arms work by itself, I wouldn't get confused.
So when you practice, break it down. Just do that footwork, like in commencement, where we shift and step. Just do that movement. Just do that several times. Shift, step, shift, forward. And the more you do it, your body starts having a memory for it. Taking that step forward. And then do the hand work.
Well, you make it look so easy.
You sure do.
About 11 whole years.
Because I sometimes have a hard time trying to concentrate.
Yes. Well, there was a time that I couldn't talk and do Tai Chi at the same time, but my body has such a memory for it now. So I could tell you a story about a man named Jeb. Something about keeping his family fed. Then one day he was walking through the sky and I don't know the words of it. All that is.
He was hunting for a coon and up popped the oil. Some way like that.
So they moved to Beverly. That's my story. It was a very, very terrible job of telling that story. But that's what practice does, breaking it up into parts. And so once you practice just the leg work, once you practice just the hand work, then start putting it together, but just one piece at a time. So when I bring my hands up, nothing's happening with my legs. It's when I bring my hands down that I shift right. So then just practice that a few times. Up, down. And see what that feels like. Just really connect the hands to that weight shift. It's almost like your hands are pushing that weight to that right foot. Up, down, shift the weight.
You just make it look like it's, I don't know. It's your hands just like they're fluid.
Well, thank you. But I hope that tells you that's practice. Because I wish there was a video of the very first time I did Tai Chi. Had I known that I was going to stick with it for so long and forever, I probably would have had someone take a video, but I'd have been plumb embarrassed to ask somebody back then, because I remember in class being something like,
that's what's happening to me.
Okay, well, I was there too. I didn't know what was going on. And it's frustrating because, like you said, they make it look so easy and you think it's slow. It should be easy. No, it's not. It's
when you start working it, you find out it's not as easy as it looks.
That's right. And it's not just slow, it's dynamic. There's a lot of things going on. what I always tell you, slow, smooth, continuous, upright posture, weight transfer, gentle resistance, you know, thinking about all of that. Open joints, song, internal experience of Tai Chi.
My brain doesn't, it gets cluttered when you,
That's a
with each-
lot. That's a lot. And on top of that,
it is.
commencement, you know,
You have
close.
froze again.
the whip. So I throw a lot of words at you. And so that in itself
Something's come on.
is a lot. So I just encourage you to break down the movements. And
You froze again.
well, I don't know what the deal is now because I
It
have
was
everything.
longer then. It was longer.
Huh.
The others was, you know, just you froze and then
Came
you
back.
come back.
And that's
Did I-
right.
Did I freeze for you, Mr. James and Miss Juanita?
Oh, you
Yes.
did fine.
Huh.
You did okay on mine.
Oh Lord. We'll just
Yeah,
write that
okay.
off as technology.
That's right.
Man, we gonna write off as man-made.
Well, next week we're gonna dive into brush knee. And brush knee looks like this. I've got to remember I'm doing mirror image. So now we're going to start moving towards the other way. Mr. James, you know this. Let's beat ourselves. Nice little fist massage. When your muscles get wore out and sore, give them a nice little massage with your fist. Nothing too hard, just a soft massage.
Like I got a cramp in the back of my leg.
Yeah, give it a little fist massage. And now tense and release. Tense and release. Big circle. Then we take our right fist that represents our strength, and it's a loose fist. Our fingers together represents our friendship. Our thumb in is our humility. So strength, friendship, humility. And in mutual respect, we say namaste.
Namaste.
So thank y'all. Thank you for being patient with me and yourself. Be patient with yourself as you learn and practice and come back next week.
All right.
All
I
right.
think I'm through for right now.
Y'all have a great week and I'll see you next Tuesday.
Okay.
All
you
right.
have a good week, so.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.